watching UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.
Good evening, Ugandans, wherever you are, and of course the rest of the world watching us here on UBC TV. I'm glad you're still tuned in to UBC TV, and I guess you know that you are being inspired by our programs. And tonight it's Matters of Policy. As usual, this is your day, this is our day, where we get to look at a number of issues, pertinent issues, matters that really require and make policy in this country. Now today, I'm your host, Moses Walgebe, standing in for Tony Jofrawana. And we are going to look at another really pertinent issue tonight on matters of policy, and that is the dilemma of lightning versus policy formulation. Is it necessary that we need a policy against lightning? Do we require it? What should we do? Do we need awareness? Yes, of course, and we shall find out later on. In studio, I have a number of people here, two of them great guests. First, my extreme right is Mr. Benon TWINAMASIKO. He's a physicist from Makerere University. He lecture at the university there, physics. You are welcome to this show. And then in the middle, you know that it is always true that maybe it's first, but this time we decided to say last but not least, that is Ahura Kariaka Mary. She's a weather forecaster from the meteorological department. You are welcome, Mary, on the show.
And right,
and these are our big brains tonight. They are going to be telling us much more about lightning, things that we need to know about lightning. Of course, we were supposed to have our guest Richard Tushemerire, who was supposed to be here also. He's a good at policy, but we miss him because of a number of factors, human factors that of course cannot go away with. But one thing we know is lightning has fascinated and excited humans for as long as the Earth has existed. And it is also of recent a big issue in Uganda. Well, I don't know, is it because it is being highlighted in the media, but apparently we have quite a number of cases. I have a few examples here when I think last year, June, I quoted a big example where 18 school children and a teacher were killed by a lightning strike. That was in Uganda, if you remember that sad story where 18 children died. We also had 4 people dying around the middle of this year in Foreign District. We had in Kano, we had another strike in Kisoro, we had in Kabale, quite a number of them. Like I'm saying, I don't know whether it is because the media is kind of bringing them into the limelight, but these have existed before, according to research. But I just want to bring in Mr. Benon. Benon, I know you are a physicist. What could be the cause of this lightning?
Well, as a physicist, I'll try to explain it in simple terms. I will not go deep into the science, in order for the benefit of the viewer. If you look at lightning, it cannot happen without rain. And all this starts with the formulation of the clouds. And I will try to just take some little time to explain about the formation. The normal rain cycle, which happens whereby you get evaporation taking place, the moisture goes up and then it condenses. During condensation, when you are high up there, because you remember when they say that, they say in geography, the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. And the meteorologists will even add on that useful on the side of how the rain formation happens. So the tiny little particles of the ice particles which forms after condensation, they start rubbing each other. And as you would have done in your primary, rubbing your pen in the head, and then you mix a little bit of peppers. Then that had to start each other builds up. Or if you are rubbing iron and you see the head of your legs standing up, it means you have an electrostatic charge. Now the upper part of the clouds becomes positive charge. The lower part of the cloud becomes negative charge. Now, because you can talk of about a kilometer between the cloud and the ground, the buildings on the ground, because of the charge separation, become positively charged. So you get what we call potential. That means you have a high charge between, like if you bought a car battery and get the spanner and tap on the terminals of the battery, you are likely to have a spark. The wire is so small it will even tear apart. That's what happens. If you are a human being standing in a pitch, or you are in a building, this building, or a tree, or a human being in the pitch, deforms that potential between the cloud and that person. So you start being able to be a connection of high current through you. So what happens is, after all that formation, we need always, when this charge goes up, it needs to be discharged.
You talk about high current, it means high current.
40,000 amperes. And you are in millions of volts per meter. That's how big the voltage is, and that's how big the current is.
It cannot be.
It cannot hit you because we can only sustain few amounts of current. So most likely always this happens when it is raining, when it is threatening to rain, or when it is a thunderstorm. So that's why people need to know how lightning comes about, although some people normally associate it with tradition.
Yeah, well, that's quite a brief physics introduction. We are not in a physics lesson, my dear. We shall be later on, of course, opening up our call lines, and we'll let you be part of this discussion. This is a big, big matter of policy. Lightning has claimed lives of many. I guess those of you watching us from up-country areas, it has been a very, very big, terrible incident happening for almost through this year. Coming to Mary, you know, meteorologists know the cloud conditions necessary to produce lightning, but I'm told they cannot forecast the location or time the next stroke of lightning is going to be. I don't know how true this statement is, but I guess you can tell us, how do you always, can you tell us, are you able, do you think you are able as meteorologists to let us know when the strike is going to come up? Probably we could be able to avoid it.
Okay, we can using modern technology, especially total lightning detector, we can give the lead time for lightning strikes. So we can detect the period and the time, but not the exact position. But within that locality, we can be able to detect it when we are using the modern technology of total lightning detector, that one of the Earth networks. We can be able to detect, although we cannot predict the exact location.
Okay. So you can detect, like you can detect that this strike is, the lightning is going to strike.
It's going to strike maybe, we can say northern Uganda, we can say maybe around the Victoria Basin, we can say maybe western Uganda. When we see that there is we can be able to detect depending on the total lightning that.
Okay, that is I don't, how do you do this? How? I mean, at the lightning department. Sorry, I beg your pardon, the meteorology department. How do you see? I mean, just give us a bit of how do you detect that lightning is going to happen? For instance, of course, we are in a rainy season. November is just beginning, and I guess everyone who's seated there watching us, but once you know, have you made any detections for the next 1 month during the rainy season? And basically, just to give us how do you do this?
Okay, we have a seasonal weather forecast, which can determine the rainy activity within the 3 coming months. So we can be able, and on the daily basis, we do chart analysis. We define where there is low pressure zone, where there is high pressure zone, how the air mass are moving, either it is coming from the Congo air mass, or it is coming from the Arabian High, or it is coming from the St. Helena. After getting it, we can determine the areas which are going to be of activity, of weather activity the next day.
That is rains, heavy storms.
Yeah. And now we use only satellite imagery to detect. Because now we are lacking lightning detectors. We are lacking the weather radar.
Before you go to the lack, I'm trying to follow your explanation. I'm looking at, we are looking at policy separation. How can we control this, and how can people be able to run away from incidences lightning striking them probably in their houses or maybe in the fields. And you know, this is the time, the rainy season is just beginning. And you were saying, does that mean that you can tell us that in those waves you are talking about, which you do your usual forecast, you can let us know that lightning, do you see it in the center? Tell us.
No, we don't see it. We just see the pattern of clouds.
You are not honest.
The pattern of cloud, we can determine if it is a low cloud, which is a cumulonimbus cloud, which is very dangerous, which has dangerous effect, which has lightning.
Back to you, physician. Do you concur with that?
Physicist. Okay, as I said before, normally lightning happens when there is cloud cover and when it's threatening to, or when actually it is raining. But I also want to add something on the formation and how people hear thunder and see light, because that one is not always understood. People say we hear big.
We'll come back from that really short break. You are still on Matters of Policy here on UBC TV. We are looking at the lightning dilemma versus national policy. That is, if we can have one. And by the time we went for a break, we were looking at prevention mechanisms. And apparently, our phone lines are open, 0414259248. You can take 3 callers, and then you can listen to your views, and these people will be able to tell you what answers go for your questions. So you can be able to engage with us on Matters of Policy tonight. Yes, we have a caller on the line. Just tell us your name and where you're calling from, and then ask briefly on the topic.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, how are you, sir? Your name and where you're calling
I'm well with Dr. I'm calling from Nadete.
Yes. Your name and
I'm going to ask you, Mr. Salasiko, what is it to mobile phones and other electronic house of lightning? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, asking about mobile phones and electronics, how they can be, of course, cross-tied to the issue of lightning. Another caller, hello, UBC. Patterson, hello. Yes, your name and where you're calling from. Sorry, we missed that. We need 2 more callers. Hello. The number is running on the screen. Oh, sorry, we missed those 2 very important callers. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, this is from T.
Your name and where you're calling from, sir.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
I'm from T.
Yes.
From T.
Yes, please. Just go ahead and ask.
All this protects oxygen.
Come again with your question.
How this system does it protect the system?
If I got you well, okay, we'll caller from there.
What
Right,
does
it's
it from
speaking
that?
about the business. Hello, we have another caller.
Hello?
Yes, your name and where you're calling
This is a call from Kilo.
from?
From Kilo. I'm asking that other something that is putting on the shoes.
We are having a problem.
Like may not be
Okay, they have got your question. They will give you an answer later on. Okay, one more caller. We got you. Hello. Just one more caller, and then we can have answers to those questions. Just reduce the volume of your TV set, sir, and then we can hear you clearly. Hello? Reduce the volume of your TV set.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hello?
Your name and where you're calling from. Reduce the
I'm
volume. Yes.
I wanted to know. Hello?
Yes, just go ahead.
I wanted to know how can we control that can we get to know?
Okay, we'll be letting you know. Thank you very much for that question about where you can find conductors. Now we can first of all look at those 4 questions. The first caller from Natete was talking about mobile phones and such electronics. The physicist, you know, the people who have invented these things and they are destructive. I think just to add to his voice, if you are standing near a petrol station and it is raining, so what do you do? How do you control your phone? You have to switch off and things like that.
Yeah, I would want to assure Mr. Wang that the UFAs and the mobile phones are not really a problem in this issue, because you should only be worried about like the wired telephones, because these wired telephones come from a far distance and they are on a network. So if lightning happened on a distant place, as she said that if you had it in second, you know it is about 1 kilometer, 1 mile. You shouldn't be worried, because when it is happening far away and you are just busy on the phone, it can go through the phone and come to you. But the mobile phones are not a problem, because they are not connected to anything. Nor would you want to, use a mobile phone when you are having a storm going on. So if a storm is going on, it would be better if you are not having an emergency call, avoid being on phone, mobile phone, or the wired phone.
What about if you are in the house?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then if you are in the house and this house is protected, for example, it has the earthing or the electrical earthing, or this you are inside the house, avoid touching metallic things. Like, don't take a shower when it is raining, because this water is coming from the pipe, which is also coming from far away. It can go through the water and may be able to strike you around the due course. Also, avoid plugging in your electronics. Imagine you are having your plug in the wall, and then you are having your headphones in the ears, because you are having that connection. You don't know where these wires can go as far as. We had Angel from Virginia distance. We didn't understand.
Okay, I think he was talking about distance. How can you be protected? Like standing from a tree, which distance should you be?
Maybe we answer.
Okay. The distance, knowing the height of that tree, the distance is 2 times that height of the tree. Because the ground touch potential and side crash impact, after the distance of 2 times the height of the tree is the safe area to be in, but not moving near the tree.
You see, Mary, they are also houses that are constructed near trees.
They should be avoided, because the tree is going to be struck by lightning, and it's going to conduct lightning to the ground, and you can easily get it through your feet. That is the ground touch potential, which cannot be avoided. You have to avoid it at that distance.
Someone will tell me that, you see, the tree makes a butane,
it's hard to get about 10 kilometers away from, 10 meters away from you, from the house.
It should be a little bit of distance.
Yeah.
Someone called from
Chiandongo, yeah.
About shoes being conductors.
About shoes. I can assure you, if you are having rubber shoes, they do not conduct. But the problem is when people are struck, and then like there's a lot of man who was struck by lightning, I think in Chile. And then they say, but he was putting on rubber boots.
Even in the Kajaja
But my shoe can attest that at times we find people putting on shoes, but when they have broken soles, their soles are broken, and you are in muddy water, so this muddy water goes into your shoes, and you are already having infection, already are conducting. So shoes should be really not having these broken parts, and that's when you can be sure that you have the insulation within such shoes.
You also have a choice to make
Okay, shoes can minimize the injury, the injury status of the strike. Because remember, there is no perfect insulator. Air is a good insulator, but it can be penetrated by lightning. What about the layer thickness of shoes?
Well, I think those are very critical points to note. We had another last one
about the arresters where they can be got.
Yeah.
These are available in most of the electronic shops. I can't mention which shop because that would be like an advertisement. But when they go in town, most of the hardware shops which deal with electronics, they will be able to find these arresters. And they can have their, the price sampling is another policy issue that can the government try to either subsidize or reduce the tax on them. That's why we're talking of the issues of matters of policy. What does the government have to contribute? When ICT came, they said we are not levying anything on the computer, we are not levying anything on videography so that people can promote their talent. So as a policy, we're looking at how can we allow people to attain these things
at a cheaper price. Yeah, because apparently you have to build a house and then you think of the harvester, which is also expensive, and then that will be a problem. Now, maybe he just brought us into this as we finally get, because we have a few minutes to conclude this show. What should be embedded if we are thinking about policy? Now, this is to all both of you, but maybe you can fast. What should we have in any policy if we have to think about policy regulation against lightning?
Against lightning, we have to have early warning systems in place, and the early warning system, information should come from modern technology instruments. Not a matter of using just minimize the instruments to make a mobile, a severe weather alert. It should come from modern, so there is need of funding.
Okay, I'll come back to you for a final word to Benon.
Yeah, to me is more, I believe in sensitization. I believe sensitizing people, making people know about the information on something is more critical to me. So sensitization should be one of the, because we study these things in schools, but after studying them, many people just say, I've passed and I'm done. So if we can go ahead and simplify these issues, make them more simple to the common person, that would be a great thing for you.
Exactly, Benon, I want the final word from you about this issue.
My final word is that it's an appeal to the public that don't wait for us to come in and educate you about things. The internet has come. The books are always in the library. Teachers are available. Contact them. Ask them. And also to my fellow teachers, we serve the community. Try to talk to the community and say, I teach these things. Also make sure that they are known in a better way and easily understandable.
Maybe your final word in 2 or 1 minutes?
Like an acute, go inside and study structure when you hear thunder. And you should always, when you are in the open place, you should take a safety position, like branching with your feet up and your hand in ears.
I just remember that, of course, our parents used to tell us, hold your ears, make sure you have your fingers to the ears, and that is exactly what Mary says. Now, for our viewers, thank you very much. We appreciate for your time that you have taken to be part of this show, Matters of Policy, and I guess that we have learned a lot. I know that we are now aware, at least we know the prevention mechanisms against lightning, and we will then be able to fight this, of course, as also government comes up with the policy maybe in the future, and then see how we can go about this. Thank you so much for being part of UBC TV. News is next. I can see Jack is just close to me. Just stay tuned to UBC and wait for that news from all of us and the whole of the team here, the technical crew. We really thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary, for being part of Matters of Policy. We'll call you once again. And thank you, Benon. Goodbye and good night.